fix the technical issues. I see challenges pouring in. A lot of them already. I'm just going to start some 5-minute game to have some time here. Oh, this one looks good. So basically, okay, let's just start off with something. And the idea is you can challenge me if you're a premium user. Oh yeah, actually I'm playing a premium user. I have to keep track of that. And please challenge me like 5-0, 3-0, or 3+2. So some standard blitz time control. And I am picking completely arbitrarily, so don't complain if you don't get picked. And well, let's see. I hope you enjoy the show. I just came back from a tournament today, and we'll see how this goes. So chances to beat me are probably quite high today. You should try your luck. Okay, what do we have? This first game, some kind of pseudo hippo probably developing. I'm not sure. H4, H5 generally favors me. I can put my knight on G5, and this is in general quite good for white. If I get to, let's say, short castle or even long castle and play knight G5, F4, F5. Yeah. By the way, this is my first Banter Blitz with viewers. Some of you might already know me from the Banter Blitz Cup or the Banter series. And those who don't, well, I'm a grandmaster from Germany. I don't normally do this, but well, when I do this, I kind of enjoy it. So let's hope for some fun games and that perhaps you will even learn something from this. Who knows? Okay, this is some very ugly French for black now. I plan to play c3 after c5 because that's his only sensible break. And now his pieces are kind of even more passive than in a French, and I should have free hand on the king side. Though, of course, it's never easy to break through here. But and by the way, I am sometimes reading chat because this is kind of new for me, but okay. So someone asking if I enjoyed Bremen. Unfortunately, quite the opposite, but that's mostly due to my questionable play there. And yeah, not much to say. I played terribly. Fortunately, I managed to offer a lot of draws in bad positions. And okay, I can't really complain. I was actually close to winning the tournament despite that, but I messed up in the last round, and in the end it was second place. So it's kind of okay. Do I prefer 3 minutes or 5? I'm not sure yet. Probably 5, but I honestly I don't know yet. Just as I said, any blitz time control will do. Can I challenge unrated? Please, you can challenge rated, unrated, overrated. It doesn't matter as long as it's the blitz time control. My rating is probably too inflated here anyway, so it won't hurt a lot. Someone writing me, I need to flip the board. What do you mean I need to flip the board? I'm looking from white's perspective. What's the point here? So I need to maybe focus a little on the game. What is happening? I can't castle because I would drop h4, but perhaps I can play something very direct like f3, g4. Normally I would consider it very carefully, but okay, it's a blitz game. I'm outrating my opponent by over 1,000 points. So yeah, by over 1,000 points. So you're seeing black's perspective. Is that true? Well, how can I change that? It's I mean, I'm seeing white's perspective. Turn the monitor upside down. Thank you for your input. Okay. Thank you. Okay. There's work being done in the background, so hopefully it will be changed soon. Okay, he broke with f6. That means all his pawns are kind of weak, and I should get my king out of the way. Can I get away with a long castle? I probably can. And now I basically throw all my pieces at his king and hope it works out. like g4, maybe even as a sacrifice, and he doesn't really have a lot of play yet. This one I just go king b1, tuck it away, and there's a black just needs a lot of time to really get anything going, not to mention his not so great bishop on b7. It's basically, it was not a French, but it's a French that has gone as wrong as it possibly can. Yeah. Yeah, but by the way, always thank you for reminding me. Always remember, you can only well, you can challenge me probably if you're not premium, but I will only accept premium members as challenges, because you are the guys carrying chess 24, and yeah, you need the love. So queen e8. I'm not sure what that move does, but since I'm greedy, I'm going to prepare g4 and not sacrifice a pawn. Oh god, that was his idea. Knight h6. Okay, this feels like even some knight e6 might work here. Looks actually pretty decent. It doesn't drop anything, and I'm winning just a pawn for more or less nothing. That's simple chess. Up on the clock. Very comfortable start. Yeah, now just play down the clock, play down the position. And obviously also, if you have any questions to me about anything, basically, you can ask them in chat. If I find them interesting, I will answer. If I find them not so interesting, I will probably ignore them. But it's really your call. Well, to answer them is mine. And yeah, I know that the board is the wrong side up. I was told it will be fixed. There's not much I can do about it. I'm seeing it from White's perspective. So let's see. Pawn up, g4. Well, maybe not even coming. It's not necessary. Although he has to protect g6 with something like queen f7 or queen e8, and then g4 might be strong. It's not just that I'm a pawn up, it's that all my pieces are kind of aiming at his king. There we go, g4. And this is looking very sad. Who is your favorite player of all time, and from Germany too? Well, if you're asking about great players throughout chess history, I actually always really liked Fischer, because I believe, I don't know if he was stronger than other world champions or not. It's not, let's say, not the debate here, but I think he was way more ahead of his competitors than most other world champions, if not all of them. And I think this is kind of what sets him apart. Let's see what is happening here. I'm 2 pawns up now, and I'm basically just taking the rest of the pawns. Can I get away with hg? Probably yes. If he takes, I go like bishop c4 and h5, h6. Not to mention that I will flag people. If I'm in danger of losing, I will definitely flag them, and I will not regret it. So, okay, that's a piece. Okay, here we go. That should be game 1. Check. And the pawn is running. And the pawn is running, and nothing can stop it. Okay, that was a nice first game. Not too much calculation involved. So let's see, who do we pick next? Let's try some 3-minute game this time. 3 minutes, 3 minutes. I wish I could sort them somehow. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's a premium member, 3 minutes. Okay, let's go. Well, now I'm seeing the black side of the board. So I don't know what you guys are seeing. Would be interesting. E4. What do we do against E4? Okay, E4. I think what is best by test? Scandinavian. Scandinavian, like the world champion does it. But now, since we don't know any dodgy theory, we just go queen d8 and play a Caro-Kann like 2 moves down. That is how it is done. Okay. Probably I'm already, well, not close to loss, but much worse. I mean, this is the Scandinavian with queen d8 we're talking about, but when did you start playing chess and who was your first opponent? My first opponent, well, I definitely couldn't tell. Someone from my family, I guess. I was taught chess when I was maybe 4 or 5, quite early, because all of my family plays chess, and obviously it got me interested. But I started playing tournaments when I was 8 years old, and never stopped since, so to speak. Okay, what is happening here? Why does this feel like I might run into trouble? Can I castle? I'm not sure if I can actually castle, but let's go for it. This is a 3-minute game, and that means if something really bad happens, I will focus on flagging. Okay, f5 is still not a threat, I hope. Let's go here. Yeah, this is basically in the Caro-Kann. I would have already played something like queen c7, rook a d8, and know that I am perfectly fine. But here, actually bishop f6 and f5 looks very strong here. Let's see if he finds it. And I blundered knight b5. Wow, actually blundering everything. But he doesn't find knight b5 at least. Okay. Let's hope he's watching the stream and only heard the first part before he heard the second part, because knight b5 would have been a lot more painful. Now it's just a piece for a couple of pawns, still doable. Okay, queen here. This one, fg. Do I want to keep all the pawns? I probably want to keep as many pawns as possible, so I take back like this. If he takes on b7, I go rook b8, and I probably get b2. How many pawns do I have? 2. But if I get to play e5, it might not be that bad. That's why he plays queen c4. Okay. Well, that might be bad. Yeah, that might be bad. Okay, play a quick move. Now it's time to go in and prepare for flagging, because the position cannot be held by normal means. That's why you don't play the Scandinavian, or at least if you play it, then know what you're doing, how to not be lost out of the opening. I think he blundered the piece right back. That's helpful, even though I'm probably still worse, because I will have to allow queen takes e6. Okay. This one, well, this is actually okay, because king g7, b2 is hanging. I'm not down on pawns. I'm up on time. That means the flagging mission is going well. Okay, I'm just going to take the pawn with check and play something like rook f7 here. Yeah. Unless I blunder one of my major pieces, I don't think there is a way to not flag this. Check and d2, I guess. Oh wait, like this, I can give it check, and he blundered one of the major pieces here. Yep. 2-0. Perfect. Okay, let's see. What do we have now? Let's see, does someone want to play 3+2? It's a bit odd kind of to play 3+2 online. It's more of an over-the-board thing, especially in recent years, but okay, let's see. There's a 3+2 challenge. Yeah, why not? Black again. Black again. Well, now I definitely won't play the Scandinavian, that's for sure. Let's see. Yeah, he's playing. Okay. What is another questionable opening we can try? Knight f6, the Alekhine defense. Well, I mean, questionable is, of course, on the level that you wouldn't play it in a serious tournament game against a prepared grandmaster. Basically, for every other purpose, you can play almost any opening that is not refuted altogether. And the Alekhine, I mean, it's slightly passive if White knows what he's doing, but obviously you can still play it. It has its ideas. Okay, 4 pawns attack. I think the theory is takes and knight c6, bishop e3, bishop f5. That's the idea here. Yep, there we go. Bishop e3, bishop f5. And now he usually goes knight f3, bishop e2 castles, and I go e6, bishop e7 castles. Oh, like this maybe first. e6. What time should we challenge you at? I already said 5-0, 3-0, 3+2. Any one of those is okay with me. Probably your chances are best if you choose 3+2 because I'm playing too fast for 3+2 and don't really care about making good choices here. But it's up to you. So wait, what is this? This doesn't look right. If I go knight b4, he goes knight d4, and he has everything covered. And what else can I do? Interesting. Let's take maybe and play knight b4. Now, I'm not sure what my idea is after knight d4, because I will have to spend time moving the bishop, but I was hoping that there is something I can do with that time. But maybe there is not. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. I don't know what I should be doing here. This is a position where you calculate and make a very serious and educated choice, but this is not for Banter Blitz. So he will go bishop b5, and I will go c6, I suppose, because king f8 short castle looks very sad. Knight e6 is a big threat. Although I could just go king g8 and pretend like I'm attacking d5. Of course, normally White will find a way to punch through there, but it's a 3+2 game, so might not be that easy. Yeah, short castle. He's actually playing surprisingly well. This is so far quite a convincing game from White. Let's see, but okay, now he gives me the d5 pawn. What is the idea? I think I just jinxed him. Okay, I mean, that's a free pawn. I know my king on g8 isn't pretty, but it's still a free pawn. And now I should probably take off as many pieces as I can. Takes, c6, and just stay alive. Yeah, this turned out okay. It also sometimes happens when you play these kind of not reputable openings, like the Alekhine or Scandinavian, people tend to overestimate their chances, or they find that they need to prove something to you, and or even to themselves about the opening. But sometimes you just have to play it calmly and well, kind of hope you get a small edge and see if your opponent can defend it. Here I already have the bishop pair, an extra pawn, and I just need to figure out what to do about my king. I'll just try to go h6, king h7. He'll maybe go rook d1. Then I'll have to find a good spot for my queen, because e6 is probably his next move. So maybe I should keep my queen here. And if e6, just king h7. Although king h7, never mind. Okay, h4. Yeah, king h7, h5 is very annoying. So what are the alternatives? Nobody really knows, yeah. I mean, going h5 myself is possible, but I would like to avoid it. And probably there is no way to avoid it because my bishop and my king are competing for the h7 square. So h5, okay, e6 as expected. Now, perhaps I can just go king h7. Is that so dangerous? I believe the screen is frozen. Is it? That would be very unfortunate. Is the screen frozen? Can somebody confirm this? Yeah? Okay. But the audio is still there, yeah? All right. Again, I hope that somebody who is currently not playing a game will be able to fix this. That just means you have to imagine my smooth victory with a pawn up and the bishop pair without actually seeing it. Okay. Yeah, no point commenting on what's happening in the game right now. But let's just say it is getting very intense. Working again, yeah? Okay. So then, well, then I'm kind of happy. I mean, the stream is working again? No, not really. Okay, never mind then. The board is frozen. Well, I'm sorry. You can only make me aware of the problems. I can't make them go away. I can only hope I will not flag until it is fixed. You can't see the moves, so the board is not doing what it's supposed to do. Maybe you should refresh. It's generally a good idea, but perhaps it's a bigger issue. Let's see. But now, okay. But by the way, so yeah, okay. Let's hope it's working as intended now. In any case, I just finished off the game. Yeah, I don't know. Perhaps he could have gotten better compensation after even after he blundered the d5 pawn, but that's sometimes how it goes. Okay, now okay, I see again challenges coming in. Okay, let's maybe do another 5-minute game if I can find one. Oh, some strong player there. Let's see, can we like as strong as I dare to play against? Where was he? Just give me a second. These challenges are not easy to click through. He was just there. Where is he? Nah, never mind. So, okay, then I'll just play a 3-minute game with a FIDE master. If you're a titled player, what's the fun in this? What's the fun in beating someone like myself who is playing? Oh no, come on, no. Someone is playing Scandinavian. No, we're not going there. I already showed that I have no idea what to do here with black. Now I will not go with white. Okay. Yeah. Let's just pretend we're playing Caro-Kann without d4 c6 included. Planning to do a simul anytime soon? Not really. As I said, I'm generally not doing a lot of these, let's say, entertainment things, and generally things that are not purely playing chess in tournaments. But well, if the opportunity presents itself, perhaps, but in general, this is not what I do. I'm a professional chess player, which means I play tournaments. And it's actually what I enjoy the most. But of course, sometimes circumstances may arise that will make me play a simul or play Banter Blitz, as you can see. So I believe the Scandinavian did not do particularly well here. This again looks like this actually looks like a line of the French. Oh, okay, now this is tempting. Knight f7 is very tempting. This is so tempting. I doubt anyone could refuse that. Yeah, let's just go for it. This is looking so tasty. And bishop c4. I didn't see a defense here, at least no reasonable defense. So, yeah, this is quite good. Again, don't play the Scandinavian. Sometimes you learn it the hard way. Oh, wait, I was just about to blunder my bishop with check. And my queen just along with it. So, does this actually mean I messed up? It's possible. It's not unheard of that I mess up. Again, kind of a hard choice to make here. Too much thinking. That's definitely what's going on here. Too much thinking. Let's just allow a queen exchange and hope for the best, because a queen exchange is obviously what you want when you're a piece down and trying to attack. But okay, after queen c7, let's say I might have knight f5. And here, I don't know, this looks dubious, because now I actually get to attack again. Interesting. Okay, rook e1. I'm not convinced this is the best way he played this. It's probably still good for him, but can I go dc? I want to simplify things. Or will he be greedy and go bc? Maybe he will. No. Okay, so we get an endgame. I got a load of pawns. And, oh no, actually I only got 3. I thought it was more. And I'm down on the clock, which means I will have to be extra speedy now. Bishop takes d5 was wrong because bishop g5 comes with check. That is what I had initially missed. And this is why we're going through all this suffering and flagging again. Back when he played knight d5 to defend against the mate, I mean. So here I'm now up to 4 pawns. I'll probably lose the d6 one, but it won't matter since I am the faster blitz player and just the faster player. Let's hope. Yeah, I doubt there'll be a lot of chess content going on right now, because I'm just playing for speed, and let's see how long it takes him to understand that and basically not care about the position at all anymore. I think he already understood it, but he might have done this just a bit too early, because right now I think I might just be winning. This knight is getting really, I don't know, isn't getting, no, it's not getting picked up, but even after knight a2, I can just push the pawns, and it's the knight is trapped and will not get out. My pawns are enough to win the game. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. There we go, picking up the knight finally. And this should be game pretty soon. This is probably bad technique right now, but okay, who cares? Again, playing for time is the simplest solution. Am I actually, though? Nope, no draws. We are playing to flag. There we go. I warned everyone. I am playing to flag, and I will not regret it. So, that game was pretty intense. Okay. I think, of course, the attack should have probably been winning somewhere, but then I believe he could also have defended better. Let's see. That was quite a challenging game. Let's maybe put our rating advantage to use again. There we go, 3 minutes. D4 this time. Well, can't play the Scandinavian now, can we? What can we play that is always annoying to face? Let's try the Benko Gambit, if he allows it. Nope, he does not. I'm tempted to just play CD and play D5 and transpose to some Caro, but no, this is not what we do today. Actually, I might have just gone G6, but no. And okay, he's forcing me to transpose to something because I can't hold attention here forever, so I'll transpose to Queen's Gambit accepted. And he has an early knight c3 here. This limits his options quite a bit. We'll see if he actually knows this. There is a chance. But Queen's Gambit accepted is again one of those openings. It's not so bad. I mean, white probably has some way to an edge, but it's an opening you often miss or are too lazy to look at because you face it in maybe 1 out of 10, 15 games, and you look at the main lines instead, and it's probably the best thing to do. But then still, when you're facing it, you have not really a good idea what to do against it. I actually played the Queen's Gambit accepted exclusively until 2014, I believe. Then I took up all this knight f6, e6, and Nimzo stuff against d4. That's bold, allowing me to break up the structure like that. I'm not sure he should have done this, but we'll see. It's probably still, I might have prevented d5, but well, he doesn't do it anyway. Okay, do not blunder some mate on h7, and we should be very good. Yeah. G6. Now, okay, even though the structure looks particularly ugly here for white, in general, such a position is quite comfortable for black because white has run out of direct ideas. I mean, usually in these IQP positions, he is either trying to break with d5 and open things up, or he's trying to attack on the king's side, and neither thing is very likely here. Because even though some of his pieces are pointing at the king's side, it's again, it's just not enough resources. And it's kind of actually hard to explain why this is not enough in this case, but it's just something you learn with experience. Here, for example, I can even counter with f5, and now I'm taking over the initiative. After bishop e7, I might consider fe, and here he again just gives me a pawn. And now this whole, all my pawns are on the light squares, and they're actually restricting his bishop, and okay, obviously also his knight and queen, but in this case, it all synergizes very well. f4 is a threat, and it's actually quite hard to deal with because there's a slower plan of also going knight f4 and maybe even queen h4, queen h3. Basically, white has just lost here. Yeah, I think he just allows f4. I'm not sure what he has planned here. Maybe queen d2, but queen d2, I just go h6. And I think it's all for nothing. This I take back. And inevitably, sooner or later, I will pick up the piece on g3. There we go. And that's an extra piece. Can I mate him in some fancy way? I don't know. Perhaps I can, but let's not risk it. Just bring in all the pieces, and now I can mate him in a very mundane way. Just rook e2, and there goes another one. Okay, thank you for the game. I should perhaps play the Queen's Gambit accepted in general here against d4. It's a good opening, especially since I still kind of know it. Let's see. What do we have still? Let's maybe play a 5-minute game for a change now. I think I've played a few 3-minute games now. 5 minutes. Okay, let's try this one. I get white. Okay, 1e4, best by test for real this time. Even though I rarely play e4 in tournament games, I haven't gotten around to really learning it, so it's not a stable part of my repertoire yet. But of course, in general, you want to expand as a player. So for the future, it might be on the cards. Okay, so thinking for 25 seconds how to meet the Caro-Kann, check. Let's play this very stupid line. Basically, this line here, knight f3, d3, just became popular because a certain engine started saying that white is slightly better here. But even if he is, it's still kind of, it's not really a critical try. At least I don't consider it to be a critical try. And this is kind of how a lot of trends in modern openings go. The computer says this is plus 0.15 and the main line is a force perpetual, so you play the plus 0.15 stuff. And well, there's not a whole lot of imagination. Of course, there are many exceptions to this. Players who go beyond that, and those are usually the ones who find the most innovative ideas. But I don't know, I'm not convinced that this knight f3, d3 setup is really one of them. Okay, what do I do here? I'm about to allow knight c5 for knight e5, and I probably misplayed this quite heavily already, but we'll see. I'll probably have to give the bishop. Or do I? Again, let's try to be greedy and keep the bishop. Bishop a6 is not really a threat at this point, so we just go all forward and hope to push him back enough that we can cover our weaknesses. Okay, do I want my knight on f3? I want my bishop out on c1. That's definitely what I want, but how do I do this? Because he might go c5 if I just move the knight. Maybe this looks so ugly. This looks so ugly to actually give him the square on d5, because everything is a bit loose, and you don't want to have this in a blitz game in general, but I just hope that this will work out for me. c5, I'm not sure this move is strategically correct, because after b5, what did he really gain? I'm not sure he gained anything. And now at least, if he allows me to play bishop d2, knight c4, these are all very easy moves that I can basically make without thinking a lot. This one, g3. And I mean, here I kind of have everything covered, and even a space advantage thanks to e5. So should be quite a comfortable position. He doesn't really threaten anything yet, so I can just continue with the plan knight c4. Okay, my next moves again, if he doesn't do anything special, like here, he's just waiting. I go rook d1. I might go bishop e1 just to contest the d file, and eventually knight d6 might be very unpleasant. Bishop e1. I might run into blundering some knight f4 if I'm not careful, but it doesn't seem to work yet. So let's try knight d6 now. Plug the d file. Oh, I'm actually down on time. I should keep an eye out on that. And a5 perhaps. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of counterplay unless I run into some tactic. And with only two pieces really in tactically relevant positions, it's not likely to happen. Okay, he takes, and I just take back. As long as the d file stays closed, I don't think there are any tricks working. So I can basically just play rook da1, and it shouldn't have sufficient resources to defend. Yeah, I just go rook da1. I control all the entrance squares on the d file. So if he takes on c4, I just take back, and a7 is still dropping. This is the well, one of the advantages of having a space advantage, that you can kind of maneuver all over the board, and you can do it much more easily than your opponent. And you can see a piece like the knight on g6 and even the bishop on e7, they can do absolutely nothing for the queen side. And even if you gave him 2 moves, what could he do to defend the queen side with those pieces? This is kind of a dubious decision here because the bishop will have to go to h1 and I believe it will get trapped there. Yeah, he sees that and resigns. Okay. That was actually an interesting game strategically. It might have ended abruptly, but I think it was quite instructional. Okay. Let's see, what can we play now? Oh, let's try another strong player. Well, I'm basically saying everyone who is within 500 points of me is already strong because I'm not particularly confident for today. Where do we go? Let's try this one. Okay, and still one e4. We stick to our repertoire of playing e4 and then avoiding the main lines at any cost because I have no idea about them. So bishop b5, and now just pretend like we're playing a Marozzi setup without the last squared bishops. This is actually the well, let's say main line of the bishop b5 system. And I don't know, I think can I afford to play with h3 here? I think so. Not actually sure. There are some forced lines, but in general, once you get out of the first 15 moves and nothing particularly happened, white is usually a bit better here. Okay, just go rook c1. It is at times tempting to play something like knight a4 here. Well, obviously he won't blunder the fork, but still, it can get quite annoying to deal with. Okay, takes back, and this is kind of what you get. Yeah, b5 is a good idea. It's how you generally play this. And let's see, what can I do to counter this? I'm not sure I can do a whole lot, but let's try just forcing this kind of position with a knight on d5 against the bishop and hope that it works out for me. Besides, I might get to play knight f6 because knight b6 is a threat and he doesn't have time to move the bishop because of that. So, yeah, he's trying to somehow preserve that bishop and his structure. Okay, queen d3 maybe. Oh, this is again, this is 3-0, yes? So, yeah, 3-0, so do not get too far behind on time. This player is 2700. He will probably know how to flag you. But in general, he's in quite some trouble here, because even though he managed to break with b5, which is generally a good idea for black here, his coordination is not so good. Queen on e6 doesn't do a whole lot, and now he's not sacrificing anything. But maybe I can play this sneaky move here. And now if he takes, I should be able to pick up the b5 pawn. Alexander, was ACP a Blitz tournament? The ACP knockout tournament. No, that was actually Rapid, and kind of a half serious Rapid. I think it was 10 plus 5, something like that. Yeah, somewhat surprisingly to myself, I managed to win that tournament. It was actually a very decent tournament. A lot of strong players, over 2600, also played there. And I believe this is the first online tournament that I won, actually, like the first major tournament online. Let's see what is happening here. I kind of want to win the pawn, but he's making it so hard. He's making it very hard to actually win that pawn without giving anything in return. And I'm getting behind on the clock, but now I should be able to take it, right? Taking that pawn. And I'm not sure what his idea is. I'll just try to push with a4, a5, and basically queen. Might be a bit primitive, but I don't have the time for anything sophisticated here. And I mean, I literally don't have the time for it. Okay. Not play anything complicated. If I can exchange queens, it's probably nice. Rook b1 is not smart. I'll blunder on a5. Maybe this move is smart. I control the position here very well. Question is if I have enough time to convert it. Because this should generally be quite an easy win. But okay, if I take, I should be up 2. Yeah, now I'm up 2. This is looking very good. Okay. And how do we do this? This is how we do it. Yeah, now he can't go to the 7th rank because it would allow something, rook c7. Yeah, and if he can't go to the 7th rank, eventually I will push him back here due to Zugzwang. And here I can just take, right? I don't know. I think this was a bad call. I should not hope that I will convert this with 20 seconds, but well, now I gotta suffer through the experience. Oh god, I feel like I will blunder mate here. Oh god, this is not good. Help. Okay, but now I'm running to the b pawn. Okay, this is winning, yeah? I really hope this is winning. Let's go. Body check. And b6. Whoa, I just missed rook e3. Whoop. Let's see. Can we mate? I don't think I can mate. Not skilled enough to mate. Yeah, not skilled enough to mate, definitely. Oh well. What to do? As expected, the time was not enough. Still, props to my opponent. I mean, he prolonged the game so much that I actually had to mate here. And, well. Okay. Actually, this is the first half point I dropped. Now, of course, I need to get back to it. This was 3 minutes, and it showed us we are not cut out for 3 minutes. Let's play 5 minutes. Yeah, 5-minute game. Should give me plenty of time. I'm also, as you can see, I'm mixing the rate rating band quite a bit, just so you can't say that I'm picking based on rating. I try to mix it up a little bit. Okay, London system, and there I was about to play my Queen's Gambit accepted. Well, you can play the London system. I can play the London system as well. Okay, I think e6 is more precise. And c6. And this is going to be a very interesting game indeed. I always wonder what London players actually do if, well, if you get this, because it doesn't look too enterprising. That's what I'm trying to make it now by sacrificing the probably a pawn. If he takes on b7, I go rook b8 and take back on b2. But no, this is not for us today. We will play a very symmetrical and very equal looking position. Oh, c4. It's actually trying to open the position up. That might not be the best idea since his king is still in the center. Do I counter with e5 or c5? That's the real question here. Probably with c5. This is what I should do. I mean, if he had bishop e2 short castle played, obviously he would probably have an edge, but here I should be able to find enough counterplay, provided that I actually try to find it. Let's see, queen c3. I'm not sure what he's doing because rook a c8. This is just giving me so much time. Knight d3 is a big threat, and even if the queen moves, knight d3 remains a threat because the rook is hanging on c1. Let's see. He has time to consider, but I actually don't see an adequate defense to this. Because knight d3 is very nasty, and Well, you can't protect both the queen and the rook. And this move allows me to play knight d3, right? It should. Knight d3. And if he takes, I take here, and I don't even exchange queens. I will take on d3 and go queen a6. Which means he will have the king out in the open and might even mate it right away. Let's say rook c4, king d3. Okay, I'll just pick up the queen, doesn't matter. And that should be game, I hope. Yep. He sees reason, does not play this out. Okay. That's what happens when you open the position before you're ready for it. I mean, in general, if you want to, let's say in such a boring position, you want to open things up to fight for an advantage eventually, but there he should have probably just developed first. Okay. What can we play now? Let's see, maybe 3-2. Maybe 3-2. Wait, where are my challenges? There we go. 3-2. I don't actually see 3-2 challenges. Okay. Then maybe let's go another 5-minute game. There we go. Wait, by any chance I just I had a feeling that I already played someone. And by the way, if I already played you, don't challenge me again because I might accidentally pick you again, and this is not intended. Okay. You challenged me 3-2. It's possible. No, I just have too many challenges to scroll through. Okay, knight f3. I should play a move. I should play the Dutch via the smart move order. Yeah. Or if he allows e5 straight away, I actually get a decent Dutch, which is not something you hear very often. Okay, this is again turning out to be something very curious. Of course, the Dutch with the bishop on e7, as we know, is best. And now, do I go queen e8, queen h5? I mean, this is what they usually do, right? Of course, white doesn't usually have a pawn on e4, but it doesn't matter, right? Queen e8, queen h5 is such a strong plan, there is just no defense against it. And he gave me the bishop pair for I'm not sure what exactly. I mean, my bishops aren't exactly great yet, but that's the thing with the bishop pair. It's a long-term asset. You always have to keep an eye out for it. I just want to go f4. I'm not sure it's correct, but I feel like doing it. Of course, this is not really an attacking move anymore because he castled long, but it helps me to actually keep the position closed on that side of the board. And now I can start gaining space. Just gaining space. Bishop e6 will come eventually, and he'll have to see how he wants to attack my king. Okay. Yeah, bishop e6, why not? Actually, did I run into knight g5? Now maybe knight g5 I can... Okay, taking is very questionable indeed, especially in a blitz game. Although I actually have a nice trick there. Let me try that one. Let me try b4, yeah. Perhaps he'll fall for it. Because he actually has only 2 squares. Okay, he chooses a4, which is probably correct. After knight e2, I could have taken on g5 and went f3. But here, I will have to actually think what I'm doing. This c5, forcing b3. And the knight will be pushed back eventually. Question is, how much do I have to pay for it? Because I don't want to go bishop d7. It's not a useful move in general. So I'll just put my knight on d4. And basically, whenever the knight moves, I can go a5, a4, even as an exchange sacrifice. His best bet is probably to go bishop h3, trying to exchange the bishop. And then I'm not sure if I will actually avoid it with bishop f7 or just let him take on e6. In any case, I should be slightly better here because The play on the h file is not that dangerous yet, but in fact it might be a good idea to keep it that way by keeping the bishops. Does that make sense? I'm not sure it actually makes sense. Perhaps it doesn't. Perhaps it really doesn't. No, I'll just play the standard moves. Do not avoid this exchange. Yeah, he takes back, and I'll play knight d4. And again, it's not much, but he has an offside piece, and I don't have an offside piece. So in any case, in any direct engagement, I should have the advantage because effectively I am a piece up for the next couple of moves. And this is sometimes people don't realize this. They try to make things work tactically when they cannot really work from a strategic point of view. Like here, White's attack, I hope I will not get to eat my words, but White's attack cannot really work since he's down a piece on the king side. So he sees that, he tries to regroup the knight. Let's see, what can I do? It's tempting to put a knight on c3 with knight b5, but how much does that actually do? Knight b5, rook f1, knight c3, king a1. And now let's say, I don't know, I don't have a big threat because once I attack a2, he'll just go knight a4. Maybe I'll just go a5, a4. Hi Alex, did you get the prize for most entertaining banter for the Banter series? I think most will agree with me. Well, thank you for the compliment, but I'm afraid most people did not agree with you from those who chose it. But well, I like it if you're entertained, because it's also quite fun for me, especially since I can actually get some feedback. Because when I play strong players, in the Banter Cup and the Banter series, then it's very tense because I need to focus completely and at the same time provide some sort of entertainment. And here, okay, I still kind of need to focus because I don't want to lose a lot of games, but I can allow myself more, let's say, more, how to put it. I'm lost for words right now, but anyway, it's just a whole different experience. So this move c2 c3 that he played is well, it's from a strategic point of view, it's not optimal because he's opening his own king side. And what does he want to achieve by that? Yeah, now he has to play c4, which is probably the best choice. But again, he didn't gain anything by this whole c3 c4 maneuver, and now he again tries to regroup the knight. But even if it gets to d5, it shouldn't do a whole lot. And okay, do not blunder h7. But wait, if I actually don't blunder h7, what do I do there? If I don't blunder h7 and go queen g6, he goes knight d5, and I go rook f7. Is that a thing? Or I could go h6 and try to brute force my way through this gh, rook f2, queen h5, say, or queen h4. Oh, come on, who wants to calculate that? Nobody wants to calculate that. Yeah, just rook f7. And even here, his knight on d5 does not have a lot of impact still, even though it is on a very central square. But he is finding all the tricks that I'm missing. And now queen c8 followed by knight e7 is very nasty. So how do I defend against this? How do I defend against this? Okay, I'm playing this move not because I believe in it. I'm playing it because it's the only move I can see right now. And now he'll hopefully go back. Or is knight e7 some big idea here? But no, probably not. Okay, but like this, if you go queen d7, you abandon all hope of attacking on the king's side, right? I just take, and I prepare some sort of combination against your king. Queen d6, rook f2, and I don't care about losing all of those pawns, as long as I get a rook on the second rank and my king is safe. Then something will pop up because I have 3 pieces attacking the king, potentially even 4, and this should be enough somehow. But of course, the execution also matters, and with 50 seconds against 30 seconds, precise execution isn't exactly a given. Knight g6 is a potential threat. What's an elegant way to defend against this? I'm not sure there is an elegant way. No, there might not be. Okay, unfortunately, I will have to play for time again. I failed to win this game on the board, so I'll have to win it on the clock. Apologies to Syrian77, unless I run into mate here. Yep, that's how it's done. As expected, I failed to win it on the board, and then I decided to win it on the clock. Well, actually, just when I accept the next challenge, I have something to say about all of this internet chess. Just give me a second, someone to play against. Okay, so here we go, 5 minutes. And what I wanted to say about online chess, a lot of people actually play in online chess like they play rook against rook, even if when people have 20 seconds each, and well, and they flag from every position and play a rook endgame 3 versus 3 and all of this. I actually don't really believe in this. So does my opponent not want to play? I'm not sure. Okay, let's give it a couple more seconds and then I'll abort. So in any case, what I'm showing here, I mean, I'm obviously flagging myself in these banter games, but this is kind of a, well, let's say a joke, because I'm actually dropping lots of half points somewhere because I think it's kind of when you're playing, but not in a tournament, and let's say just playing a rated game online. I mean, what do you actually stand to gain? You tend to gain like 5 rating points or whatever, and I don't know. If you play some grandmaster over the board, you would not play rook against rook with 20 seconds remaining. You would just make a draw. But I think that this is kind of a deteriorating online culture, and it doesn't really make me happy. So this guy is not willing to make a move. Let's abort and pick another one. Okay. Wait, these are all strong players. No, I don't want to play strong players, like not very strong players, like titled Carlson's Nightmare. Wow. Okay, that nickname, it deserves a game, definitely. Even though I'm not Carlson, I'm still curious. Okay. E4, E5. What can we play here? Do I actually dare to play the King's Gambit? Why not? So far I've dropped only half a point. Won't hurt much if anything more happens. There. Okay. I see someone is disagreeing with me that basically flagging in dead drawn positions is okay. Yes, it is by the rules. I know. I've done it plenty myself. And wait, did he actually fall for the trap I laid? I'm trying some very cheap stuff here. This is so ridiculous. I mean, I'm just hoping that he will take on d1, but basically, yeah, no, there's no way this is working. But anyway. No, the thing is, DE Queen G4 Knight C2 is probably winning for black, but we'll see if he's watching the stream in parallel, and we'll play it with 10-second delay. Anyway, what I was getting on about flagging, yeah, I understand it's perfectly by the rules, and I'm not saying it's wrong to do it. I would just rather not do it myself because I really don't get anything. In tournaments, it's different. If I play I don't think I'm allowed to say the name, but let's say a strong blitz tournament online. It's just that I'm actually fighting for money. I'm fighting for tournament standing, and I'm willing to, let's say, give it all and totally flag in every position. But I think it's still kind of maybe it's just the way I was brought up, because, for example, my father is also a strong player. He's an international master from, let's say, back in the Soviet days. And it's just kind of sticks with me that there are things you should do and things you shouldn't do. One of the things you shouldn't do is blunder your queen to knight d4. But it still sometimes happens. I'm not sure. Should I play this on? What do I have for the queen? Pawn and one piece. Well, that's not impressive. And since I'm playing a 5-minute game, there is no way of flagging anyone. But okay, he's giving me a second pawn. Now we're definitely playing on. Second pawn for the queen. Yeah. No serious talk in parallel to chess. Okay. Rook b1. I'm not sure. Why am I playing this on? I really don't know. Okay, let's just make a couple more moves, and when everything starts dropping, then it's time to resign. Okay, can I defend g2? Probably not. Let's play this move, and if he finds some b5, then I'll resign. The suspense, you can feel it. Oh well. Yeah, okay. b5. Good game, sir. Should not try very cheap tricks like knight e5 and actually play decent moves. That's a lesson to be learned. So now, let's see, what can we do? Three minutes was better. I could play for time there. Oh, there we go. A candidate master challenging me. Okay, you got to pick on candidate masters whenever you can. So let's do this. And here we go. Let's see, maybe we can get our Queen's Gambit accepted in. Perfect. Oh, this line. Let's play this line. This line with a 3 b5, and if he plays the main line and exchange sacrifice for black, is actually I was one of the first strong players to implement this exchange sacrifice. And okay, probably a few people found it already and did it in parallel, but I was actually quite proud of myself. It was back before I was a GM even. Yeah, this is the idea basically. A6, and if he takes everything on b5, I'm sacrificing the exchange and trying to obtain compensation here. Wow, he's even playing rook a2 like he knows it. Rook a2 is a recommendation I think by Avroka, I'm not sure. And now knight e2. That's a bit curious. I don't think that's how you played. I think you play knight e2 with a rook on a1. Anyway, the line is, of course, a bit, well, dodgy for black. You sacrifice an exchange, obviously, and you don't get quite enough in return, but sometimes you get, let's say, a pawn, and if I get to take on c3 and install some blockade, then it's definitely a position you can play. Also, I have a healthy time advantage, which is welcome in a 3-minute game. And I think once white plays f3, at least in a blitz game, you're always going to be fine. The king becomes a bit loose. So bishop e3, just knight f6. And again, as you can see, I already have a pawn. And white doesn't actually have any effective pawn levers that I can see in the near future. Because b3 is unrealistic and doesn't do too much damage, even if it happens. And anything else would take a whole lot of time because my control of d5 is so good. He's playing quite slowly. Well, okay, queen c1, probably an okay move, but I mean, there are tons of others available. Now again, my plan is very simple. I just put a knight on d5 and see if something shakes loose. Perhaps I'll drop the bishop back to d6 and try to harass him on the dark squares. Like this, bishop d6. And white's plan, once he finds one, is probably much less straightforward, because here, yeah, I might not even be better, but the question is, what does white really do? Maybe knight e3. If I can get a bishop for a knight, that would also be very welcome. And if not, maybe knight c2 will be annoying for him. And he's getting very low on the clock. So this one just runs into knight c2. I believe that was just a blunder. Yeah. Okay. That's a perfect score against candidate masters. So we had a 3-minute game. Let's see. Now let's play a 3+2 game. There we go. Wow. 800 rating. Still. Gotta give everyone a chance. Let's see, Caro-Kann. No, we need to play something more entertaining than this knight f3, d3. What is entertaining against Caro? Fantasy variation is entertaining. I believe that this line should actually be more popular for white because it's not so dried out as many of the main lines, and let's say white often gets, if not an advantage, then at least a playable position. And I mean, getting a playable position that's not 100% Caro-Kann style is already an achievement. Because most Caro players are okay with being slightly worse, but they know where all the pieces belong and so on. Okay, knight f6 was a bit unfortunate here because he will have to go back, and I'm gaining time and space. And after f4, I might actually get a French, like 2 moves up or even more. f4, basically, I could pre-move knight f3, bishop e3 here, and it should already be very good for white. But we'll see what he comes up with. Bishop b4, I'm not too worried about this. Should he take there, it's like in the French Winawer variation where black takes on c3. Okay, there after a3, but still. Maybe I'll play a3 now, it'll be very similar. And black always struggles with his dark squares. There he usually gets some very concrete means of counterplay, but here with the knight f6, knight g8, loss of time, this is not likely to happen. And now again, White's ideas are, well, the most straightforward one is short castle f5 and just crush the king side. But if that doesn't work, there's always something like a4, bishop a3, and it's quite hard for black to come up with a plan here. c4 is what he does very often, but it needs to be carefully planned. There are a lot of subtleties in these positions. I don't know all of them. I know that once you get the chance, you should play a4, and this is what I'm doing here. Yeah, okay, and a5, for example, it's not really it's not really doing a whole lot yet, but it might weaken the b file later on. So I'm happy to see these kind of moves. I just castle short. Even if I lose the a4 pawn, which probably will happen in the near future, it's not too terrible, because it takes black a long time to get anything substantial going on the queen side. Okay. Now I need to actually figure out what I should be doing, because I developed all my pieces. They're all kind of where they belong. And now I should probably start planning f5, unless he offers me some perfect chance to play on the b file, which is perhaps what he's doing now, after rook fb1. I'm not convinced. Maybe rook ab1. Yeah, rook ab1 stay more flexible, because the a4 pawn is doomed anyway. And now I'll have to find a smart way to prepare f5, but he blunders the knight on e7. That's unfortunate, of course, but he could have defended with something like rook e8, and okay, he's worse. His position is a bit passive, but I still need to prepare f5. Until then, it was quite a decent game. Now, of course, there's not much to be said, because even if I, let's say, played bishop f6 on the next move, it's still completely winning. But there's no reason to be rubbing it in. So bishop d6, he'll move the queen, and I'll probably just go f5, because once you're a piece up, attacking is so much easier. Okay, f6. Well, why not? But again, I'm a piece up, and it makes itself felt. Now even in actuality, and not just in this abstract concept of pieces on different flanks that I tried to explain in that game with black, where I eventually had to flag my opponent because I failed to put it into practice. Is that actually? I think that's quite a nice way to finish the game. Oh, he doesn't take the bishop. Okay. Well, if he doesn't take the bishop, it's not a nice way to finish the game. Then I'll just move the bishop back and win with the extra piece. That's a queen. And that's a knight. And that's a bishop. Okay. Kind of a desperado streak in the end, but all right. Thank you as well. Oh, let's see. Let's play another 3-minute game, maybe. Oh, yeah, why not? There we go. 3-minute game check. 1e4, c5. Okay, now again, let's... how do we avoid main lines here? Bishop b5. Okay, it's already a main line in itself, but let's just pretend we are playing Carlsen Caruana or Caruana Carlsen, and we're discussing this line with all its subtleties, like black playing e5 too late, I think, or not playing e5 yet at all. And yeah, this is the kind of chess that's popular at the very top level right now. you get a lot of different move orders. You get a lot of quite hidden subtleties actually, because not even a computer will easily tell you that this move order is particularly good or this other move order is better. And here, to those who don't know, this line was extensively discussed in the Carlsen Caruana World Championship match, and there I think Carlsen was actually much better in game one, if I remember correctly, with black. But of course, doesn't mean the whole line is so excellent for black. Still, it is, let's say, quite decent. And since he played it in a world championship match, it must be objectively perfectly fine. But here, queen d4, yeah. Okay, but am I actually? Am I actually better here? I'm not quite sure, because again, I don't play these positions, so usually I can evaluate a position on autopilot, but with this one, it's not the case. And I have to actually think how good are my pieces positioned. But in general, I like that I always have the better structure in this line, and yeah, if FE, I might actually always go DE, so there's no need to worry about that. I can just go queen f3, rook e1 maybe. Pretty straightforward play, and so far black is lacking his counterplay here. Actually, just queen e5 might be decent if he allows it, because he'll have to go knight c8. Okay, he prevents it, sort of. How do I get more resources to attack him? Is knight e2 too slow? Might be okay. Knight e2, knight f4. It's looking quite good. I mean, there are no direct threats yet, but black's position is just passive. Okay, c4, I don't really care. Yeah, as long as this pawn stays on e4, the knight is being dominated. And no, actually, queen c3 is another possibility that might open itself up very soon. I'm really tempted to go knight h5 here and just say he can do nothing at all against my attack, but might be too soon for that. Yeah, it might be too soon for that. Okay, queen d4. Do I go knight h5 now? I think so. Yeah, knight h5. And again, this knight on e7 not having any squares. Okay, he can go knight d5, which might be a good move right now. But before that, it not having any squares is really hurting him. He needed probably to reposition it earlier. And now he is forced to give up an exchange, which I should just take. Yeah, no point pretending to be too smart. And just take the exchange and win with the extra exchange. How does BB, I assume this is Banter Blitz, affect your performance? If you mean the quality of my games, well, obviously it's not improving thanks to me doing commentary live, but I don't think it's hurting me too much yet. I mean, unless I really start thinking deeply about all the ramifications of online chess and blunder a queen in one move. Unless that happens, I think I'm still doing quite okay here. Of course, the king on d8 should be dead quite soon, but until then, I'll just keep on picking up stuff. And this allows a rook d1, which should be game over. There we go, that's another one. So that was 3 plus 2, 3, maybe a 5-minute game now. Maybe a 5-minute game. Let's see. Who do we have on 5 minutes? Oh, there we go. Just take the first one in the list. That way, it's probably not random, but I don't know how they're sorted, so I pretend it's random. Opponent disconnected. 33 seconds to abort. That's unfortunate. Now the opponent reconnected again. Okay, so we can play e4. Well, okay, let's go g6. Again, avoiding the main lines, hiding my super secret opening repertoire against one e4. Oh, he actually move ordered me to King's Indian. I didn't pay attention. But we don't play King's Indian. We play anything to avoid the main lines. There we go, knight c6. And e5. I know that most of these lines are absolutely not worth playing, to put it mildly, but I don't want to play King's Indian main lines because, I mean, everybody who plays 1d4 does something against the King's Indian, and basically whatever you do against the King's Indian, as long as you know it, it's probably quite good. Sorry to disappoint all the King's Indian fans out there. I do not have a very high opinion of the opening. Okay, he wants to go knight b3 and capture the pawn. Can I do something about it? I'm not actually sure if I can. Let's play something very, let's say, lightweight. If he goes knight b3, I go c5 and capture with the knight on c6. And let's hope it's one of those exceptions where even though my pawn structure looks horrible, it's actually not easy to increase the pressure on it and attack the d4 pawn, or of course the d6 pawn even less so, and it should be fine. Oh, he doesn't take. Okay, but then I keep my protected pawn on d4, and I should be quite okay here. I'm not sure. Here often you want to go for f5, but here it doesn't really make a lot of sense because my position it just doesn't ask for it. I'm not getting anything even after ef, knight f5. Where am I trying to go? So let's try to play on the queen side instead. This one. I'm not sure. Should I? I think I should just go rook b8, a5, b5 in good Benoni style. As a Benoni player, I am very much aware that this is usually still good for black to get counterplay. Of course, in this case, it's irrelevant because he allowed b5 under normal circumstances. And now I'm getting very good play down the b file. Queen c2, just queen b6 probably. Even my knight on e7 surprisingly has a purpose, even though it's not very obvious. Often white gets knight a5, knight c6 in these positions. There he goes for knight a5. But in this case, I don't really mind because c6 is covered by the knight. What I do mind, though, is that I don't have an easy move here. Okay, let's play rook a8. See where he goes. He just goes back. Well, that doesn't look too dangerous. I just got my better rook to b8. He might exchange on a8, but I think I will keep the second pair of rooks just to make it easier to put pressure down the b file. Wait, but if he does this, is he actually allowed to do this? I'm not sure. Is he allowed to do this? Because I just take on a1 and take on c4, and I think something is dropping there. Yes, something should be dropping there. Yeah, now I'm winning, but it might actually still try something like knight d2 or this one. But this one is actually less fortunate because after rook a8, he is finding himself in a very unpleasant pin. Knight d2 with the same idea was decent though, I think, because I can't take on b2 due to exchanging a knight c4. Oh, he actually still finds knight b3. Okay. Funny, rook b8 would be a repetition, but we just play simple chess. Just play this one and play what, d3 Probably d3 strong enough. Or c3. Might not be that simple yet. Although, okay, let's go queen a5. Force him to defend the knight, because it kind of maneuvered itself into a very unfortunate position on a1. And okay, I will find a way to push the pawns, d3 or c3. Actually, d3 will just permanently trap the knight, so that one looks very tempting. And I believe there is not much to be done here. Yep. That horse could save its army, but it could not save itself. Yeah, why am I even thinking about this? Just play the very simple moves. Okay, check, and the queen comes back around to c1 to take the h6 pawn. And it came all the way back here. Yes, that is a timely resignation. What time control was that? 5? Okay, I'll just choose whatever I like now. Okay. GM Crusher 31. I don't know what the 31 stands for, but we'll see how that one goes. Okay, now this is... now I want to play my main repertoire, but no, let's stick to 1 e4 and sidelines. Okay, a6. That's an easy way out. Just play c4 and again play Marozzi. d4. Yeah, some people are just so very easy to trigger by any username. You should not make an example out of that. But as long as it's all good fun, it doesn't matter. Okay. Do I just go bishop e2? He wants to go bishop b4. I'm not sure. Does he want to go bishop b4? Probably yes. Yes, he does. That's a bit unfortunate. I was trying to get some very improved version of the setup without committing to f3, but it seems I failed. Okay. C takes and queen a4. I'm trying not to open the position yet because he'll get the king out of the open before I will. And if I take too many pawns off in the center, that might become problematic. So you're staying in Berlin, or you don't play the Berlin opening. Concerning my username, it was probably some very smart idea I had. I have to check when I created the account, but I don't actually remember what the point was. So sorry to disappoint. No, I don't live in Berlin. I live in a rather small city close to Frankfurt. But yeah, I honestly have no idea. Usually there's some smart point, and with most of my accounts I can remember the smart points, but in this case I cannot. Which city? City of Gießen. It's if you're German, you might know it. Otherwise, you probably won't know it, and there's not much to know about it. Okay, Queen c7. Somehow I feel I really want to go e5, one way or the other, but it's probably not a good idea. Yeah, definitely not a good idea. Probably I have to sacrifice a pawn or maybe a couple of pawns to keep his king in the center. That's the best play here. DE, and now how do I keep going here? Probably just bishop E2, yeah. This is actually a very interesting position because, well, I'm obviously down material, but his king is stuck, and it will take him some time to get it out with something like knight D7 and C5. Because if he gets permanently stuck on E8, eventually I will finish development, and if he doesn't, then it will not turn out well for him. This move, does it prepare queen E5? It might be preparing queen E5 if I interpret this correctly, but I don't think that's very dangerous. Yeah, I wanted to just go queen A3. I think this covers everything. Should cover everything. And now again, as long as his king is stuck there, I don't care what happens to my pawn center. Again, basically I have all my pieces directed at his king, and you don't need to calculate a single line in such a position. As long as you don't blunder a piece literally, you'll always have compensation, because all your pieces are kind of where they belong, and it's very simple playing like this in Blitz. But for him, on the other hand, it's very hard, because if he misses something, there's a lot of things he can miss that somehow turn out very nasty for his king all of a sudden. And if you're down on development in a Blitz game, it's especially hard because you don't have the time to check all the options for white, and white has much more options because he has a lead in development. Okay, and again, I just play rook 81. It's yeah, bishop maybe d6. Yeah, why not? Now I just take it, play bishop f3. Are we actually playing with increment or without? I'm not sure. Probably we're playing without, otherwise he wouldn't be going so fast. Oh no, we're playing with increment. I just saw some increment pop. I'm not sure. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I'm down 2 pawns, but okay. This looks like there should be some knockout blow very soon. And just keep pushing all my pieces forward. He's actually even struggling to protect c6 right now. Yeah, just c5. Maybe here, and I'll just... Oh, I'm actually picking up his queen. Okay, that's already a kind of funny domination, but you see how little black has developed. This is basically his only queen and knight developed, and his queen is trapped. So, and again, I didn't calculate a single thing during this whole game until I saw that I could suddenly win his queen. But it just suddenly all falls into place if your pieces are on the right squares, and you kind of disregard material when you can afford it, which was the case here. Okay. Who do we play? Let's play this, I assume, gentleman. I'm not sure. Opponent disconnected. Well, let's see if this one reconnects as well as the other one. Looks like it. Yes, we have one e4 on the board. Let's play the French. I didn't say a lot of charming things about the French, so let's see how I fare with it. Okay, exchange French, not exactly critical, but actually some strong players even make it work. They just, in fact, analyze it and see that they can find some slight initiative, and they just go for it. It's not a very imbalanced position, and they press without any risk, basically. The problem is to find where are the right squares. Yeah, I know that this is yeah, it's of course what chess is all about. In many positions, for example, I can see where the right squares are without thinking too much about it. A stronger player than me can probably see that in more positions than I can. But you just sometimes need to trust yourself that you are actually correct in your assessment. For example, I know the bishop belongs to c7. I know I'll go knight d7, rook e8, maybe even knight f8. And it doesn't really matter what white is doing unless he's doing something very drastic. As long as I find a decent move order to do this, it's going to be quite good. And here he in fact allowed queen d6. g5 is threat here, and because of this, he didn't have time to defend b4. All right. Yeah, rook b1 is a threat, so I probably just go back. Yeah, just took off a pawn. Happy with my life. Knight d7, bishop f4 would be very unfortunate. So we need to be more subtle about this. Maybe like this, and if knight f4, I can go queen e4. Here, I'd probably just go knight a6. Yeah. This is also what many, not even beginners, but also club level players do. They don't keep the tension. This move, for example, knight a6, I don't take on f4 just because I can make a more useful move while keeping the tension. And this is often quite relevant. Because if he takes on c7, he helps improve my position. If I take on f4, I help improve his. And looking for those opportunities to keep the tension sometimes it might be very important in a critical moment. He wants to go for an endgame 2 pawns down. I'm not sure why that is, but I'll happily take it. And, well, it's an endgame 2 pawns up for me. Knight h5 maybe, just so there won't be any trouble on the h file. Knight c3. Do I go knight b4 a5? It's possible. It is in fact very much possible. Yeah. Okay, wait a second. Is this again a 3-0 game? If this is a 3-0 game, I need to hurry up. Yeah, this is actually a 3-0 game, so I need to actually get equal on time now and start winning on position and not blunder knight takes g6. But since it's too late to not blunder knight takes g6, you kind of have to work with the rest of it. Nope, does not find knight takes g6, but that means I just pick up even more pawns. And now I have all the pawns in the world. All your pawns belong to us. Okay. b6. How many pawns am I up? This is getting into a little. This is turning into a little competition. How many pawns can I win from this position? I'm 4 pawns up currently, and now it's 5. And he's giving me another pawn. Perfect. Now I'm 6 pawns up. This is looking very nice indeed. It's starting to target the a4 pawn. We can go there. 7 extra pawns does have a nice ring to it. And here we go, keeping all our pawns protected. All our pawns deserve our protection. I could not take the 7th pawn before he resigned. Okay. Still, it was quite a good game. Okay. What can I do? I played too much 3 minutes. That means I'm afraid to get flagged. Let's play a 5-minute game. I hope I did not play you. Nope, no score. Okay. Because I'm starting to lose track of who I played and who I didn't. Oh, this line again. Okay, I do not want to go bishop b5 again. Let's mix it up somehow. Okay, let's pretend that we know main lines. And if we know main lines, we just play this. Oh, he's inviting. It's just too tempting to just go for the Marozzi and play all the standard moves and be better. But no, we'll go for an accelerated dragon. Okay, usually people go knight f6. Or do they? Is this the correct move order? I don't know. Again, I would know if I actually studied this and this was part of my repertoire. But like this, I don't know. Is this one of those positions where there is some cheap trick, like knight c6, e5? Probably this is not the position to do it, but I'll do it anyway. Yeah, this was definitely not the position to do it. Unfortunate. Well, can't have it all. Yeah, now I'm strategically kind of busted. But looking on the bright side, what is the bright side actually? I'm not sure there is a bright side, but I might just try to pull off some tricks like this one. He doesn't even go d5. Well, he doesn't even go d5. And then how can I trick him here? Because he will go d5 now unless I go e4, and e4 blunders everything to queen b6. This is so sad. Such a sad position to have with white. Oh, bishop e6 now. This is welcome. No more bishop pair. And I'm actually only slightly worse now. That sounds good. Can start improving our position bit by bit. I'm actually getting kind of tired. What's the time? Oh, I've been playing already quite a while. So I'll probably take like 2-3 more games, and I believe that should be a wrap. Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, it's okay. I know, but I'll play a few games more, and yeah. Now I'm actually trying to take off the rooks, because someone, I believe it was Capablanca, said that queen knight is better than queen bishop. So we're trying to stick to that. I'm not sure how valuable that is here, because my knight is of course not better than his bishop, especially once he puts it on e5 and starts creating threats against my king. But well, he's not there yet. This is quite hard, because I really have no plan here. I can just hope that he kind of doesn't realize his own plan. Okay, maybe I can try to go knight e4 and threaten to go knight g5. I mean, it's not a big threat, especially since rook b5 exists at the moment, but you can always hope for your opponent to help you. d5. Okay. Do I go knight a4? I probably go knight a4. Now, in fact, I only have one problem in my position, or perhaps two. My king and my e3 pawn, in that order. But I don't think he can attack my king that easily, so it should be still more or less fine. And okay, you trapped my queen. Congratulations, but I don't think that bothers me very much. Okay. Now, if e4, bishop d4, that's a problem. Let's just go knight d3. I would like to go e4 and exchange off that pawn, because now my king is obviously not the problem anymore. So if I get rid of the e-pawn, I am at least equal, and I might even have the better structure. There we go, e4. Put it on a light square. And now actually he put his bishop into a somewhat unfortunate position. And I'm not sure what he's doing here, because I can kind of improve my position any way I like now. This is blundering at least 2 pawns. This is blundering at least 2 pawns. And king d6 is his idea now. But I can just go knight a7. Yeah, I should bring the king. I should bring the king. And it's 2 pawns. I have 1.5 minutes to win this, which should be plenty. Yep, and the king is there just in time. Now it's just 2 pawns. Yeah, I think after this game I'll play 2 more, and that'll be it. So, yeah. Okay, king e2, I think. Wait, why am I going king e2? That doesn't seem smart. But perhaps I can get away with it. When you're 2 pawns up, you can get away with a lot of things. Okay, bishop here. Do I go g3? I don't really need g3. Okay. Keeping full control here. Put the knight on d5 to not allow any king f4 ideas. And okay, I don't mind exchanging pawns. I'm up 2, so it's enough to win, even if you exchange all the pawns. Maybe put the knight on c4. I think I'm actually making life quite difficult for myself. Quite unnecessarily. Yeah, I really am. He offers a draw. Well, I don't think that's a good moment to offer a draw, really. Because the chances of me accepting are rather slim. But you never know. Might as well throw it out there. Okay. Here. And go c3. And in general, I might just give my knight for the g-pawn. It's probably the simplest way to end this. Because, okay, not right away. Oh, he just blunders the g-pawn. But anyway, it would have been simpler to just play with the 3 pawns against the bishop. Okay, once I distracted his king a little bit, because obviously there's no counterplay when you're playing 3 pawns against the bishop. And if he has the g-pawn, I might always blunder some kind of promotion trick. And here there is no risk of that. Okay, here obviously there's no risk of that because I kept the knight, but even if I hadn't, such a position should probably be winning. Yep, there we go, resigns. Okay, 2 more games. Let's see. Yeah, am I getting kicked out? Can I still play, or? One more, because there's probably another show starting. Yeah, I forgot there's a marathon going on. Okay, so one more, and let's see if there's anyone really strong willing to play. Okay, let's just take the first challenge. Seems decent enough. So this is the last game, and I hope you guys enjoyed it all. c4, okay. Again, let's play Dutch via smart move order. And well, I don't know if I'll be doing this again anytime soon, but in any case, I actually had some fun, and I in fact played some interesting games. Many were not so great, even on my part, even on my part, humble, but it's in any case been quite an experience. Let's see what's going on here. My opponent played some English opening. I tried to play the Dutch, but he made it too easy for me to grab the center, so I couldn't resist. And now this is probably becoming some IQP position. DC d5, take c3, knight d5. I'll just pretend like this works. It probably doesn't, though, which is not very nice, but again, something like bishop c3 just to grab some pawns is something I would not like to do in a blitz game usually, but since this is the last game, I might as well just go for it. If he mates me, then he mates me. Now my idea is queen c4, knight e3, and both queens are hanging. So he has to move his queen someplace else, and I'll have time to do something about the c-pawn. Or he sacrifices like this. And I did not anticipate this. Queen d5, knight g5 is quite strong. And with bishop d5, he'll probably go bc. Okay, I did not anticipate this one. I thought rook d1. Here I'm an exchange up for, okay, probably some compensation, but still an exchange is something very substantial. Mm-hmm. I could really use some sleep now. As I said, I come straight back from a tournament and I usually relax for a couple of days. So I'm very much looking forward to that once I have closed off this game. Hopefully. That's a check, and this is quite unpleasant because he is giving me a piece. Yes, he is. That's a full rook now and a pawn. That should be quite sufficient. He's contemplating his misery and actually comes up with rook h5. This does not look very strong since I can take the rook. And this is game. So this ends my so far first Banter Blitz session. I hope everyone enjoyed it. And well, perhaps I'll see you in some other public channel, though don't expect that to be very soon. I am not such a sociable guy. And well,